Mr. President, Honorable Lindsey Grant, Minister of Tourism, International Trade, Industry and Commerce, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, Heads of Missions, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Secretariat of the ACP Group of States, I would like to warmly welcome you to the 104th session of the ACP Council of Ministers. I am both honored and delighted that ministers and their delegations and representatives from member states can join us over the next 2 days as I look forward to the rich ideas and views on several pertinent issues before Council. Your presence here demonstrates the unwavering support and strong commitment of your countries for the ACP Group as we confront the immense challenges facing us and their implications that have given us cause for concern. We, however, will not be daunted in our mission to craft the relevant policies and determine the best options to transform the prevailing challenges into opportunities for the shared prosperity of the ACP family of nations. The ACP has had many successes and accomplishments in its 40-year history, but as is often noted, achievements paved the way for new and exciting opportunities to do better. Our meeting is therefore a very timely occasion to be forward-looking and shape the type of ACP we want. It has been said that the ACP is now on a course of uncharted waters. We're facing turbulence and the unpredictability of a multipolar world as we look to a future with and beyond the long-standing partnership with the European Union. Excellencies, a new narrative and clearly defined direction are needed to navigate these uncharted waters and confront the risks in our journey to a post-Cotonou agreement. We have to draw on our collective strengths to be the dynamic force and powerful voice for the future that we want for all the peoples of our societies. A heightened political consciousness must shape our discussions and deliberations as we constantly bear in mind what we are striving for in the next 20 years, the next 10, the next 5, but starting now. I often take comfort and have a growing sense of confidence that a deep clarity of purpose, policies, and priorities is increasingly emerging that can drive us to be distinctly recognized as an effective global player in serving the interests of our 79 member states. The process of reinventing and repositioning the ACP demands discussions that are focused, concrete, wide-ranging, and drawing on insights of all sections of society, including parliamentarians, representatives of civil society organizations, and other non-state actors. Let our contributions over the next 2 days reflect our society's deep concerns and their interests. May I briefly turn, therefore, to address 2 points, the acquis, or what we call some achievements of Cotonou. The ACP-EU partnership has realized a reasonable level of achievements over the last 4 decades. There have been tremendous benefits in development finance through the European Development Fund at national, regional, intra-ACP, African Union, and global levels, along with institutional strengthening and support of the administrative costs of the Secretariat. In addition, substantial returns have been gained by development of enterprises and commodity trade on preferential terms for access to the EU market. But that is more of the past than the future. While the volume and value of ACP exports, some 90 billion euros in 2015, have contributed to the economic growth, creation of jobs, and improved standards of living for our citizens, the next stage has to be diversification, value addition, industrialization, and creative services. Hence, going forward requires concerted action by a critical assessment of the relationship with Europe and the changes needed to ensure a rebalancing of mutual benefits for both the ACP and the EU. I trust that this is the kind of partnership implied in the thinking of Director General Manservisi when he spoke with us yesterday. It seems to me that a precondition for a successful outcome in the negotiations of a post-Cotonou agreement requires that we as ACP must be firmly united and consistently display the strength of numbers and clarity and unity of purpose on core essential and fundamental principles in a new agreement. There will be need for a consistent and convincing demonstration of unity by our ACP Group in the face of adverse policies and difficult conditions that we could encounter. We have also to convince the skeptics in Europe. May I now briefly mention, therefore, a few words on the priority goal of financial sustainability of the group. As an intergovernmental organization that is independent in policy making and articulating a coherent agenda to advance the structural transformation of our economies, the need to be financially self-reliant is a sine qua non. I place on record my appreciation of member states that have fulfilled the statutory obligations of annual contributions. And I extend additional thanks to others who have shown great generosity by extra-budgetary voluntary contributions. In this regard, it is highly commendable and proper to acknowledge with deep gratitude the outstanding contribution of €500,000 from His Excellency President Obiang Nguema Osago of Equatorial Guinea. Mr. Minister, your President has again demonstrated how sincere a friend he is to the ACP. Please convey our thanks. While we dream of others following the example of Equatorial Guinea with substantial sums of euros or South African rand and Kenya shillings, let us not overlook that all contributions, however small, are to be encouraged. Moreover, efforts can be taken to sensitize private sector corporate entities for programs on corporate social responsibility in areas that may allow for parallel financing with intra-ACP resources. Quite importantly, let us bear in mind that the image of an ACP living mainly off EDF and EU taxpayers, mistaken and absolutely erroneous as it is, must be countered by demonstrating systematic efforts to end aid dependency and become financially self-reliant. May I, Mr. President, conclude by repeating my heartfelt thanks to you, the ministers and representatives who are here for this council session, to carry forward this great organization to deepen and strengthen our combined efforts for the common good of the peoples of Africa, the Caribbean and Pacific, and the global South as a whole. The demands for fundamental change are not options about which we can be academic, but they are imperatives that we must seize for a meaningful future. Welcome once again, and thank you for your kind attention.